What's up, guys? It's Jamie. Thanks for joining me in today's video. If you are new to affiliate marketing or coaching or course creation or selling stuff online and you haven't really sold anything offline either for that matter, and so this whole thing is somewhat of a foreign entity to you, it is something new and you're trying to just glue everything together to make sure that you have an input and the outcome is the dollars. So you put in something, you put in the effort, you put in the time, you put in the blah, 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 and then money spits out on the other side. If you are in that phase where you haven't started hitting high ticket sales yet and you're kind of just confused and things are just not making a bunch of sense, this video is exactly what you need to demystify some of this stuff, declutter what's going on inside your mind, and have a very, very simple process you can use on repeat to bring in customers and send those to your back-end opportunities, okay? So this little brain right here is the average marketer's brain when they are brand new to affiliate marketing or coaching, course creation, consulting, all that type of stuff, especially if they haven't done this type of stuff before. So what happens is they start to absorb information, and a lot of the time the typical pathway is you jump onto places like right here on YouTube, you absorb this type of information. You might follow a whole bunch of gurus and everyone says to do different things. And so one guy's like, hey, YouTube's the best place to be. Next guy's like, hey, Pinterest is the best place to be. Another person's like, I found the Snapchat hack that's going to get you as many followers as you want in about 5 seconds. And so you start to absorb this information. You start to think, okay, well, that all looks good. But really kind of forgetting the simple process that you need to follow. And so what tends to happen, because people like myself, we're marketers, we are, some of us are a little bit nerdy. We absorb all sorts of books like the Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion from Cialdini, the 48 Laws of Power from Robert Greene, the Oversubscribed from Daniel Priestley. It's a great book, by the way. I've got the Audible and I've read through this at least twice so far, and I'm going through it again. Really great book. But we absorb this stuff. My downtime is taken up by absorbing marketing material. Why do I say that? Because if you can understand that marketers that are a little bit further ahead of you, we have the secret. And the secret is that we'll just put in more reps. We understand human psychology better. We understand buying behavior better. We understand positioning better. We understand basically what causes folks to want to pull out the credit card, buy high-ticket items a little bit better than someone who's just getting started. That's it, right? That is the secret. That, and combined with work ethic and consistency, that's it, plus getting out of your own way. But what tends to happen is, because we know these pain points, we know these frustrations, we know these things that are going to arise, it's very easy to market to, because what tends to happen is not necessarily even a fault of the marketer either, by the way, but let's say, for example, you jump online, you're like, cool, I'm going to get into affiliate marketing, and, well, I don't really want to buy this high-ticket course or this program or this coaching just yet, because is this even for me? Is this the right thing that I really want to be doing? So what that means is that folks will jump into a low-ticket front-end offer. It's usually $5 to $100, sometimes $7. It seems to be the common one, right? And so therefore it solves a particular problem. It might be, well, here's what affiliate marketing is, and these are the good things. These are the not so good things. This is how you can get started with as little friction as possible. And if you want to really ramp things up, then by all means, check out this other thing that I've got over here, right? So that's what tends to happen. Now, that might be one of these little squiggles over here. And I swear, if you stick with me throughout this video, I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to show you guys how to get rid of all the clutter, all the crap that's out there, and just stick with really, really simple things. It's going to basically help you get traction and start building that momentum in your business, which then is going to give you more options about what you do down the track, right? So anyways, stick with me. Right. So that little course then adds to this part. But here's the thing. If you solve one problem in business, it is going to automatically represent a new problem, okay? So the psychology that you need, for example, to get from zero to your first $10,000 a month and consistently hit that is going to be significantly different than when you're scaling up to, say, $50,000 per month. There's a different set of tools and resources that you need, both mentally and obviously the way that you deploy things in your business as well, okay? Different set of tools. It's just an accumulation and an ascension of what you already have, but it is a different set of tools. It means that there's a new problem to solve once you hit that new level, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. But then what that means is that you go out there and you start searching for stuff. And as marketers, we know that. We know that you're going to search for these things. We know that there's going to be certain things that are going to pop up, which means that most marketers are marketing to that. Now, the advent of the internet in recent years, and in particular, I'm not going to name any books, but you might be able to kind of get my drift about where I'm going with this one. But with certain things that have become quite popular, that has meant that there's been some astronomically bold promises made from a marketing perspective. And so what that means is people often jump into this universe with a false sense of expectation about how much they're going to have to do versus what the reality is going to be on the other side of that. Okay, and so that means that they jump in, and then as marketers, here's what we know. We know that the time it takes for you to jump into something, so let's say you've invested in a high-ticket program or a low-ticket program, whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter, or a coach for that matter. The time it takes for you to jump in versus when you are getting those big results, the longer that takes, the less belief you have in the process and yourself. Okay, the less belief you have in the process and yourself. Now, why is this really important to understand? Because what it means is that you're going to start searching. You're going to go looking. And so therefore, a clever marketer is going to pop up and go, hey, the reason why you weren't getting those results is because you're missing this content framework I've been developing. And only I have the answer to this content framework that you need in order to scale your business. And if you don't get it, then, well, you're going to get stuck. And so therefore, as a marketer, on the other side of that, as a consumer, I should say, you're like, okay, I mean, it makes a pretty good argument. I mean, like, he seems to know more than I do, so I might as well just jump in this thing, right? Which then means that a lot of the time, these consumers, and self-included, I must confess, we get stuck in this like little rabbit hole, like, buy that, buy that, buy that. Now, I did that for years, by the way. I'm not saying I'm immune to it. I'm just aware of what this is all about by now. I did that for years. About 7.5 years, I'd buy things here, I'd buy things here, I'd jump into that, I'd jump into that, I'd jump into that, try that technique, or try that, try that, try that. And had I just stuck with one thing, I'd probably be miles ahead of where I am now. But anyway, it's a lesson for another time. Now that we understand that most of us get a little bit scrambled like this, and this happens at different levels of the game as well. Like, last couple of years, I was able to hit a couple of 50K months, which was really nice. I couldn't sustain it at that level. I was able to hit between sort of 20 and 40 relatively consistently, but I couldn't bounce beyond that 50K mark for some reason. It was just like, it was driving me insane, right? It got really bad to the point where eventually things did start to kind of go a little bit backwards. I thought, hey, what's going on here? Admittedly, I sort of lost my passion for doing this stuff. But then what happened is I started realizing, this is exactly like what I teach my students. I've got all this stuff happening. There's all this stuff happening in my brain, and I can't put it in the right direction. I don't know how to get it out there to help folks out. So what do I need to do? Well, this is how I'm able to fix it, right? So what I will also say, before we get into how to fix it, you've got to understand that losing feels bad, right? So like I say, the time between you starting something and when the results are, the longer that is, the less belief you have, right? Which then makes you feel a bit shit about things, right? You're out there kind of like, a losing team on a sports match. Sports match? What the hell? What do you call it? Sports field. There you go. Thanks, brain. And so what that means is that you start to feel bad. And therefore, that's, like I say, that's the issue. You're basically going this perpetual cycle of buying stuff rather than kind of like deploying things. And then because you don't want to release the information that you've just bought, and you don't quite know how it ties into that other thing, but you're still trying to maintain that other thing that you were doing over here at the same time, all of a sudden you just look at your screen when you wake up one morning, you're like, oh man, what the hell? What am I even doing right now? This is just insane. So there is a resolution. Believe me, I can talk you guys through this. Now, winning, by contrast, feels really good, doesn't it? It feels great. I love when I've won awards. I love when I've won sports games. I played basketball for many, many years before I had to retire due to injury, and still thinking about making a comeback. I'll be like, Jordan in his 50s thinking, I should probably come back. I'll make a comeback someday. Anyways, so played basketball for many years. I used to love the impact of winning, and it is something that is ingrained into us. It releases all sorts of hormones and all sorts of good vibes, basically, right? We feel empowered when we win stuff. It doesn't have to be in a sporting event. It can be on a microscopic level, even us just winning little tasks and stuff throughout our day. It makes us feel good, as this young gentleman has very kindly exclaimed to us in this image there, right? So now that we know losing feels bad, winning feels good. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for the pep talk, mate. That's awesome. Now, here's the thing, right? Look at this guy. How crazy is that? Look at that. No hands, mum. I wonder how many of these guys crash. I would hate to think. But what does this guy need? in order to jump that ravine, like blimmin' Evil Knievel over there, or he's probably not Evil Knievel, but you kind of get the idea. What does he need to go from there to go, you know what, no hands, no hands. He needs momentum. He needs momentum. He can't just go from there and he's just like, stationary and then go, you know what, unless he's Superman, I'm going to bounce over there and just do no hands, right? Boing, yay. Like, he'll probably just go off the side. So as in, he'll just go like that, right? So he has to have momentum. There's probably some sort of hill way up here that he goes, right? And bounces over the thing. So trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. I absolutely am going somewhere with this, right? So, right, remember to remind them about the 14-day thingy. Okay, thanks for that reminder. Okay, yes, 14 days. So here's the thing. We now know these three principles. We know if we're cluttered, that's not helpful, right? We need to start removing these. So I know I'm going all over the place, but we need to get rid of these. We're going to get rid of those. First and foremost, what needs to happen at this point is we need to let go of our own ego enough to accept that the information that we have might be important. We can come back to it another day. The thing that we're doing on that platform might have been important, but we can come back to it if we want to. But we have to let go of our ego enough to accept that there is a simpler pathway for us to follow. So that's first and foremost. The rest of what I'm about to say absolutely does not matter unless we are willing, ready, and able to let go of our ego enough to go and do the rest of it, right? Because what happens is we've got all this information and we're trying to deploy things here and here and here and here, and we're going, nothing's working. And we're like, oh, this should be like a rising tide. We'll just keep pushing, and eventually the ships will rise. But it doesn't happen like that. It just does not happen like that, right? So if we are prepared to accept that there is a simpler, easier way, and we are willing, ready, and able to let go of our ego enough to let go and accept that, hey, just got to suck this one up. Let's just do something really, really simple, get things moving in the right direction. Now things are going to happen for you quicker than you could have imagined. Here's what we do, right? So now we forgive ourselves. We don't sit there and flagellate, oh, damn it, I should have done better. Don't worry about any of that. Just accept that whatever has happened. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel shame. Just acknowledge that something happened. I absorbed some information and it wasn't something like I couldn't make it work for whatever reason, right? So I'm prepared to start from scratch. Let's go through this. This is how this would work. I don't want to feel like that, so choose not to. What we need to do is we need to focus on our wins the entire way through. Can be as simple as I absorbed this video from Jamie, and he made a lot of sense to me through some visual aids, and now I kind of get this. I think I get it, and I am more than prepared to let go of my ego to go and do this thing that he's saying. Because you know what, he seems to know some stuff. I mean, he's been around for like 12 plus years online, and sure, he had a whole bunch of mistakes along the way, but the last like 4 plus years, he's been kind of crushing it. So, he's got a few students under his belt. Maybe he knows some stuff. Maybe I'm just going to open myself to listening to what he has to say. Cool, thank you for that, by the way. That's awesome. But if you're with me on the same page and you want to be this dude jumping across the ravine, please don't. I'm not suggesting you go do that, but this is how we build that momentum, right? So we take the 14-day idea. Now just put this in your mind, just put it back in your mind, 14 days. And if we look at what a business truly is, it is literally just 3 components, okay? This is something my students are probably like rolling their eyes at this point, going, oh, you've told us this before, dude. So if we got an offer, that's a lovely color. I'm going to make 3 separate colors to emphasize the importance of each. So lovely purple or lilac, whatever that color is. Conversion. Yep, that's great. Good. That's exactly what I wanted. And let's go for yellow because it stands out. Audience. All right. I clearly do my own graphics, by the way. If you'd like a print of any of this, let me know. Right. So offer, conversion, audience. Now, all seriousness, any business. And I say that, and I also automatically doubt myself, just in case I haven't thought of certain business models, but I'm pretty sure every business is going to have an offer, something that solves problems for people, something that helps get them closer to their goals or helps them achieve their goals, whatever they may be. A method to take a stranger through a process to convert them into a customer and then a client, right? So with what I do, part of my Sanctum of Success is I roll out front-end workshops that help solve a single problem for a broader problem that the customer is experiencing. And then I make an invitation to work with me to resolve the entirety. right? So that's my acquisition system. Very, very casual, very, very basic, lots of fun, lots of recurring, really, really cool stuff, and highly scalable. So pick one conversion. I would argue, I'm going to argue this black and blue, but I think the simplest way to convert people into a high ticket is to two things. One is deal with someone who has transacted on the smallest level first, right? So they've built a little bit of trust, and then hop on a call with them and then help them out with some stuff. And then at the end of the call, ask them, by the way, do you have a plan moving forward to hit your goals? You sort of mentioned throughout our call that you'd like to hit 10K per month. What's the game plan for getting there? Don't have one. Okay, cool. Would you be open or completely, a better way of putting it, would you be completely opposed to hearing how I actually help my students out? No? Cool. Look, go away and think about this, but here's what I do. I basically show folks how to build a highly profitable personal brand. It takes just a couple of hours per day to implement. And if you're like some of my students that are able to stay focused, then you're going to be able to get results really, really quickly with this. And once you do and you build that momentum, then things are going to take off really, really quickly. And so once you've got that, that's when we start to add layers in place and look to scale to those 10 to 20K plus per month marks. How does that sound? Well, really cool. How does that work? Well, we've got a coaching opportunity here, and it also has course modules and all the support you're going to need. Is that something that might be of interest to yourself? Yeah, how much is this? $50 million. Okay, well, that's out of my price range. Yeah, no worries at all. Look, tell you what, we do actually have an amazing payment plan. Like that, what I'm saying, like clearly I'm not doing a sales pitch here, but what I'm saying is that you don't even need to sell stuff in that environment to make sales, because people will, if you've been able to help them out, you've been able to give them some experience, you've been able to, even more importantly, give them a little win along the way because you are helping them implement something in real time, then you, without even trying to, you will convert at least 20% of those folks into the next thing, whatever that may be. Might not be the full 10K, coaching, whatever it is, but it might be something else that helps them out. Might be another low ticket, might be a slightly bigger ticket, might be a payment plan of something else, might be a software, might be something. There will be something there that you can help your audience out with, which means that you don't need a huge audience to make a ton of cash. Right. So do that. But if you want to leverage your time a little bit better, here's what you do, and I'll explain a few more things, right? When you sell a low ticket offer, you clump the buyers all together, and then you serve a one-to-many at that time. So say if they've jumped into a $7 offer for argument's sake, you say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be hopping on Zoom for just a casual get-together next Tuesday. It's only with my buyers. Do you want to hop on and just have a chat? Cool, sounds good. Now, for clarification, I don't have everything figured out. I'm just getting started in this game myself, but I'm really excited about it, and maybe I can just help you guys out with some of the stuff that I've learned along the way. Yeah, sounds good. Bang, get them on a Zoom call. You leverage your time by doing a one-to-many approach. And I say many, it's probably only going to be like 5 to 10 people max, when you're getting started. And you just have a chat. Cool, where are things at for you? What are you working on? Awesome. Did you have any questions about the specific training at all? What are you looking to do over the next sort of like 60, 90 days? Have you had any considerations about getting any further help with this stuff? Awesome, great. Any questions at all? Just help folks out. I know it sounds so counterintuitive, like I help them, what the hell? An audience. So, like at the moment, I'm on a couple of different platforms, right? I also do this full time. I also have a VA that helps me out. I also have spent 12 years building brands on different audience or different platforms. And so what I would say to you is stick with one to start with. Stick with one platform to start with that you feel you can quite happily produce content on for an extended period of time and build that clout, build that brand, build that audience, right? If you do that and you're able to go out there and help these folks out, good things will happen over time, okay? But please, for goodness sake, there is not a best platform. There's not an easier platform. Just pick one and go with it. My personal preference is still Facebook, still a multi-billion user platform. It allows you to have a one-to-one approach as well as a one-to-many approach, meaning that you can put out content, speaks to many people. You can also DM folks, have that type of thing happening as well. And you can have nurturing hubs such as Facebook groups. That's my proclivity, what I really prefer. And that's it, right? So all you need to do is have just one offer to start with, one method of conversion, one audience. Right. So your offer, this is meant to be a inverse funnel or a mountain, your offer is always going to sit at the top, okay? So what you do is we basically work on an offer, first and foremost. We start with an offer, and then we decide a little bit further down, we go, okay, well, how are we going to convert? How are we going to convert folks? Am I going to put all the information into a Google Doc, and then I will just get that out to 10 to 20 people a week, and I'll sell 30%? Cool. All right. So now that's my acquisition process done. I just need to put that in front of more eyeballs. Or is there something else? Is there a webinar? Is there a 5-day challenge? Is there a sales call? Like whatever it is for you, just pick that one thing, stick with it until you get results, then move on. Absolutely paramount that you do that. Otherwise, the rest is pointless. If you're kind of going all over the place, I trust me from personal experience, I know that it just doesn't work. You're better off just going, this is the way that I'm going to convert clients and move forward with things, right? And then last but not least is your audience. Yeah, right down the bottom here. But what happens is when you're spending time building out your offer, you're probably thinking about your conversion mechanism, and you're most likely thinking about the pain points that your offer solves along the way. Now, I'll try and leave some links here regarding offer creation stuff. I've done a whole bunch of them on this channel, so go check those out. But anyway, let's move on. Now talk them through the promo cycle, challenge them to do it. Yeah, okay, so look, I'm going to challenge you guys. Going back up to my 14-day concept, I'm going to challenge you guys at this point. I want you not just to see this as a random random YouTube video. I want you to see this as, you know what, frick it. That's a new word I just made up. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. I'm going to go through this process, even though it's going to feel extraordinarily uncomfortable the first time I've done this, because I just want to challenge myself first and foremost, but I think I'm going to get results. And if you are one of the brave ones that actually bothers to go do this stuff, let me know. Hop down in the comments. Let me know. I would freaking love it. I absolutely love that. Especially, if it works and you're just like, bang, I've got this. This is amazing. So here's the thing. Right. So if we go down here, get our thing. Okay. So if you're an affiliate marketer, I'll talk with you guys first and foremost. You have at your disposal usually mechanisms from the vendor. Okay, so what I mean by that is I've got a program called the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind. I'll leave a link below if you want to check that out. And payment plans and stuff, it's pretty cool. Anyways, lots of folks have been through it and smashed it as a result of going through my stuff. So I have, as part of the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, a call funnel. Now, what that means is if people don't want to sell anything themselves as my affiliates, they can just say, you know what, why don't you go and chat to Jamie and his team, and here's a free video that's going to explain a little bit about what this is all about, and there's an option to book a call with the team at the end of it. If you'd like to get some further information, Jamie's really relaxed. He's not really into this high-pressure sales bullshit. Just have a chat with him. See if it's the right thing for you. Might not be, I don't know. That might at least resolve these issues for you as well, okay? So now what that means is that you don't even have to sell anything. This is the thing that's what blows my mind when people don't make use of these types of things in different programs that I've seen, because you've got it there. It's like, it's so easy. You don't even need to sell anything. It's like, hey, do you want to check out a free video? Yeah, okay, yeah, I do. There you go. Check it out. All right, soon. Bang, they enter that system, they become a lead, that lead gets followed up, they get encouraged to book a call, they're part of that process, they might end up jumping on something at some stage, right? So use the mechanisms from the vendor. If you haven't sold stuff before, right? If this is a new thing for you and you don't want to you're a little bit nervous about booking a call and hopping on and trying to sell stuff, you feel a bit weird about it, just leverage these, especially if you're still gainfully employed and you don't have all that much time through the day. Leverage the mechanisms. Another one is low ticket. Right? If there's a low ticket front end, why would you not leverage that? If you've got the option of selling the back end, yeah, absolutely. But if you've got a low ticket front end, why not? Do that. Absolutely. So here's what we do. If you have not sold anything online before and you want to in a really chilled out way, and you're wondering how all these people, including myself, have built our clout. Oh my God, why would you do that? There we go. Have built our clout. It's for a number of reasons. Because for me, I was able to put a ton of equity into my audience before I finally started selling stuff, right? Because I was just all over the place, hey, I'm trying that. Do you want to grab that? Grab these bonuses here, grab that thing. I would make some sales at some stage, but not really, not a whole bunch. I capped out at about $1,800 a month. That was in like 2018, early 2019, from an affiliate basis, right? That was my biggest month at the time. Like, yeah, $1,800, awesome. It wasn't, as it transpires, and then it wasn't until late 2019 I got really focused, and then things started really blowing up for my business. But for you, if you never sold the stuff, here's what we do: you take a low ticket offer. You know, these are your $7 to $100 offers, right? That are a front end that solve one specific problem for the broader issue that you're trying to help these people with. Okay, you get rid of all the other stuff. So we've already done that. You're already out of your mind. You've got to get rid of your other stuff. Okay. You wrap an offer around that. Now, what I mean is that if I say, hey, here's my phone, that's the product, right? The phone is the product. Now, the offer is the gift wrapping, it's the packaging, it's what else is included, it's the warranty, it is the the extra storage space inside it, it's the camera facilities, it's the shock proofing special thingy majiggy, whatever it is, right? It is the added chargers, the added headphones, it is the freaking stand thingy that you get that does the thing, whatever, I don't know, like that's how you gift wrap things up, right? So instead of it being like $7 and here's my link, now I look exactly like every other freaking marketer out there, you're not doing that. You're going, here's the thing, that's $7, and you get everything that's included. Plus, because I'm awesome, I am going to include some other stuff. So this is what you do. You go, okay, how can I improve this offer? What's in it? So you unpack it. How can I take what's already in there and I can display that and make it abundantly clear that that is the benefits of what they're getting. Unpack the benefits. Right? You just put this on a Google Doc. Bullet points only. By the way, if you choose to hop on this amazing thing, just letting you know, I've spent in excess of $30,000 on my personal development and business growth, but you don't have to. This may not be the right pathway for you, and quite frankly, I'm not sure if it is going to be, because it's not going to be for everyone. That's why I decided to put this together to allow you to test the waters without expending all the money that I've spent on this thing myself. So you're actually genuinely helping the person out. Bullet point 1, you are going to get, as part of this, the simple pathway to profitability that shows how everyday entrepreneurs can get started with this crazy side hustle that's going to help you make $1 billion in 5 seconds. You're also going to get blah, 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 and a blah, 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 and a cheat sheet, and a yada, yada. Then you offer support. And that could be as simple as a Facebook group, right? Telegram chat, a email support, if you want to go like that. Could be coaching calls, etc. Right? What's that coaching? Could be Facebook Lives. Could be all sorts of stuff. And when you do that, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, so actually I'm not going to be left to my own devices. I get all these extra benefits. But wait, there's more. Then you're going to add some incentives or bonuses. And think things like checklists, cheat sheets, training, but to a lesser extent, things like that, right? And if you're creating these, don't overthink, just jump on a chat GPT, find something that's relevant and get like a checklist of top 10 tips to close more high ticket sales. Sure, here you go. Here's the top 10 tips. Thanks. PDF it, bonus, right? Don't overthink this stuff. But it's how you package that. That would be a high value asset to me, personally speaking. I would love to know what that is, right? But you can go create that. It'll take you 7 seconds, literally. If you want to get real fancy, you want to make this an absolute no-brainer, remove the risk from the customer and take on the risk for yourself. Now, some affiliate products, some coaching products, some things like that, they have refund policies. Some of them don't. But would you be prepared to pay out of your own pocket $7 if someone jumps into your thing, pays $7, and they go through the thing, blah, 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 they're like, hey, it's not for me. That's fine. No worries at all. But, not only do you get X, Y, Z, but I will also pay you out of my own pocket, pay you $100 for wasting your time. Now, of course, if they haven't done anything and they've gone through it and they're like, I did nothing, I'm I didn't know work on this. I looked at it and went, this is not for me. They've got to put in some work for those types of things, right? But would you be prepared to? If it meant that 3 out of 10 people that buy this are going to ascend to your 3 to 5K offer, whatever it is, right? I personally would. I think that's a bigger return than the loss of my $100, which is very, very rarely going to happen. I'm just saying you got to get creative with this stuff, right? So now we do that. You like I say, bullet points on a Google Doc. Start with the big numbers up the top, just called price juxtapositions. Big numbers up the top. I've invested XYZ. The full program's blah blah blah. Be transparent about it, but you don't have to. This is where you can get started for just blah blah blah, right? I'll put refunds there. Now, guess what? Before we take that to market, we repeat that process for our high ticket. Okay. So if you've got an ascension model, if you've got a front end low ticket offer, you've got an ascension model, you've got a coaching offer at the top. In theory, you should have started the other way around. Should have started with the high ticket first and then work your way down to the low ticket. But if these are already in place, this is going to be the easiest way, right? So just do that, but repeat it for the high ticket. So add some coaching calls, add like 6 weeks of coaching, add additional support, add Voxer access if you want, add the benefits of being part of it. Are there any guarantees? Are there any additional incentives that you can offer to really push the value that they're getting as part of that, right? If that's the case, now you've got an offer. Now you know what you're doing. This is awesome, right? So all of a sudden you just increase your conversion rates massively. So then what we do is we wrap that up into a 14-day process, okay? So let's say, for example, days 1 to, let's say 7, we've got to headhunt. We've got to go and be a little bit proactive with our first couple of deals, okay? Even if they're tiny. Because it's just going to be easier. It means that you're not sitting there going, hey, I put out some content. Any day now, the algo gods are going to come and smite me down. And actually, no, not smite me down. They're going to come and bless me with algo goodness and get me in front of all my perfect buyers. You don't have that luxury when you're getting started, right? And if you are, and you're just like, oh, I made this beautiful content. It is beautiful. And you're waiting. Yeah, it might go well. You never know. But do you want to take your chances or do you want to be proactive? I personally want to be proactive. I want to go out there and find my people every single time because I know that the pathway for me going, hey, I found some people that are awesome and I can help them out with some stuff genuinely to get them to go from that to freaking, customer. It's a shorter pathway because I'm actually bothering to help them out. I'm going and finding them to help them out as opposed to like, all right, content's out there any minute now. All my buyers are going to be attracted to me because I'm awesome and they're going to buy my stuff. Yeah, that can happen and it does happen. But the missing element when you're getting started is authority. You got none. Like, there's no reason for people to listen to you. Like, hey, I've just got started and I don't know anything, but you should listen to me and buy my stuff. No, like it's not going to happen, right? You need to think outside the box with this stuff, right? So days 1 to 7, you are building clout and what I would call emotional equity in your audience. Or audience, as I like to put it, audience. And so what I mean by that is, let go of needing to be right and needing to be perfect. Go and DM some folks. If you DM'd, literally, you cold DM 20 people, and of course there'd be people in the out there watching this at this point. I don't want to DM people. You don't have, well, don't do it. That's fine. I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying this is the only way to make money online. I'm just saying, in my experience, if you can and you go out there and do it, you DM only 20. That won't take you more than 15, 20 minutes, right? Copy paste messages, blah blah blah. Hey, something relevant to their profile, yada yada yada. Don't be douchey and just like, hey, have you checked out this latest linky thing I've got? It's amazing, right? It's just building clout. You're helping them out. That's it. Nothing more. And if you don't want to go down that path, then get dynamic with this stuff, right? So add people and find them in your audience and again, use the headhunting approach. I would highly recommend it. And then just be visible in their timeline, in their content, wherever you're producing your content, go and find ways to be visible with them so they keep seeing you. Now, what this means is that if we look at really simply 20 times 7 days, and yes, this is how quickly things can happen. we've got 140 people in our audience at that point. Hopefully my math is right. 20 times 7, worked in finance for like 8 years, so this is really embarrassing. But yeah, anyway, that's about right. So 140 people, 140 like things, people, amazing things that we've got out there. These amazing humans that we've like built equity with. And when I say build equity, I mean be visible. I mean help them out with stuff. I mean commenting on their content if it's relevant and recent, right? I mean going out there and showing that you can be present. But there's one more thing that would be very, very beneficial is, especially if you're affiliate, this is where it gets so easy, right? You don't need to even have your own results. The program that you're part of can have results, and that's all you need. And you don't do anything nefarious. It's not like, hey, oh, that guy made 10 grand today. Oh, look at me. I may just blank out that name. Yeah, I totally made 10 grand today. You guys should buy all my stuff. You don't need to do that. Here's what we do. We take, that's the thing that you want to promote, which is the product, the program itself, right? And then we just go, okay, look at the amazing results that are coming out of this. So we're starting to build authority, and that gives people a reason to listen to us and actually follow our content, because we are actually creating that sense of authority with them. Okay, super powerful. So authority content. We do that 7 to 12 days, 7 to 10 days, sorry. Authority content along with lifestyle stuff that gets to, so they get to know you a little bit. You know, all your amazing flaws, you just put them out there authentically. People will love you, and some won't, but most people will. And a bit of value. But the other way to think about this, because instead of getting stuck in your own mind going, yeah, but I don't, like, what's the value? How do I'm just getting started. Well, like, document. Literally. And when I say document, I mean quite literally. Pick up your phone. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jamie here. Today I hopped on this amazing YouTube video, and I've had my mind blown by a couple of things. Just wanted to kind of talk through a couple of those things with you guys today. So here's what happened. Blah, blah, blah. I went on this YouTube channel with this guy called Jamie, and he suggested that I should like and follow all of his stuff. And I don't know why, but I'm going to, right? So, joking, but you kind of get the point, right? Like, document what you're doing. Like, hey, just picked up this amazing tip today. Hey, I'm going to try this little experiment today. And so people love being part of something that's bigger than themselves, okay? So if you're documenting, you're out there just like, cool, well, this is what I did today. This is what I'm trying today. Like, this didn't work, but I gave it a shot. Like, and having that sense of enthusiasm with it is going to be so unbelievably powerful. Now, remember this guy. We wrapped up our little high-ticket offer. Here's what we do. Days, where are we? Days, say 7 to, what do we say? Oh no, that would technically be 8, wouldn't it? Days 8 to, says the guy that used to work in finance. 8 to, what have we got? Let's go, yeah, because I'm thinking, sorry, don't mind me. We're going to go basically 8 to 11. So about 3-ish days, right? Gives us a 4-day window. Actually, let's go 4 days. Gives us a 3-day window on the other side of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tease something. Now you probably don't need to do this to this degree with a low ticket, right? But if this is the first time you've ever sold anything, first time you've ever done anything like this, it's probably going to be quite handy. And then you've got a tiny audience, right? Tease something is build excitement. And look, you don't need to go crazy hypey here. It's not like, this is the best thing ever invented. Right? Oh, crikey. You don't need to do that, but you do need to have some enthusiasm around it. Build energy, let's just call it that. Not hype, energy. All right? Fucking hell. So you tease something, hey, I've been working on something behind the scenes, really, really cool. Can't wait to get it out to help you guys out. It's going to be absolutely amazing. That might be one example. You might say other things like, I've been putting together something really cool. It's going to be released really soon. I'm super excited about this. And, in the meantime, you're building that energy. You're actually still creating value throughout the entire process. And that's a really fun part. So you tease something is coming. You then look at your own metrics. Roughly, you don't need to know everything, right? We're not mathematical savants here. We're not looking at becoming actuaries and figuring out the mathematics to the nth degree right here. What we're looking at is going, okay, well, if I, over the last however many days, I've added approximately 140-ish people to my audience, and I know these are very raw metrics. I know it might not look exactly like this, but you get the point. And I've had to build that cloud, and I've got like this list of folks that are kind of like, I think these are people that are really interested in this type of thing. From the things, I'll sort of help them out with a couple of things. It looks like they're following my content. I can see them liking certain things, and I've commented and stuff like that, right? So my own metrics might state that I've got, again, like I'm just going to go for 140, right? So therefore, I've got 140 people that seem to pay attention to me from what I can gather, or that at least I have had communication with in some degree. It could be just, engaging in their stuff and whatnot. So look at your own metric. Say, for example, 140 audience members. And looking at supply and demand, the old 101 there, economics 101, is it reasonable to have a high demand if you have 140 units of something when there's only 140 people that want that thing? And the answer is no. There's an equilibrium at that point. It means that there's no heavy supply, there's no heavy demand, right? Everything is just equal, so therefore, all things being equal, price won't change effectively, right? But we can create our own economy at this point. This is where things get like super ninja, because what we do is we cap out the numbers. Cap our intake of our low ticket offer that we did above. And you might decide, you know what, I am going to be a little bit conservative on this one. I'm only going to release 5 spots for this thing, right? So then, effectively, and I think actually I'll do this one. Sorry, I'll keep it a 3-day promo cycle. It really doesn't matter. You can do 5, you do whatever. It's done. Like, don't overthink this process here. Your drive is almost full. Stupid Dropbox. So then days 12, or sort of like 11ish to 14, this is what we do. We basically go out there and we say, the big day has arrived. Right? If you are this type of person and you're looking to achieve these types of results and you don't want to expend this type of cash just yet to see if this is the right pathway for you, I've got an opportunity. Here's what you're going to get. Going back up here, where are we? You're going to get a solid gold plated Rolex. A solid gold Rolex. Diamond encrusted this. A freaking, I don't know, Learjet to go along with it. You're going to get video training on how to achieve your wildest dreams, blah, blah, blah. You're also going to get support from me. I'm also going to add you to my private buyers group where I go live once a week and I discuss things that are happening in my business. You're also going to get access to a group coaching call where I'm going to divulge absolutely everything you need in order to grow and scale your business to 5, 10, 20,000 plus per month. Bang. So now you've got your support. Incentives. Not only that, but if you hop in now, and what you do is you go, okay, how long before day 14 and your current day that you start promoting? So let's call it 3 or 4 days, so 72 hours. Live next to a motorway. Trucks. Piss me off. Anyways, so then if you got that, now you're like, okay, cool. How can I cram that into there? For the next X days, up until the expiry, and for the next 5 people only, you're going to get access to this. Plus, if you decide that it's not for you for any reason whatsoever, you're also going to be able to get all your money back. So there's actually no risk to you whatsoever. And then if there's no refund policy and you get a bit fancy with things, by the way, if you go through this information, it doesn't work to help you achieve big results. I will pay you $100 out of my own pocket, right? Crazy. Now what happens? All this energy that you've put into these folks, some of them are going to look at that and go, ooh, that's a pretty good deal. Start promoting. They're going to go, okay, that's cool. And so some of them might jump in really early. You might even sell out within 24 hours, maybe less, maybe an hour. Sometimes it happens in minutes. It's really cool. Start promoting. And you keep promoting. That's the thing. Keep promoting. You make it visible as best as you can. And you can go and headhunt some of these folks, right? Don't be shy just because you've like had a chat with someone. Say, look, out of curiosity, I've been putting together this little opportunity for folks. Would you be opposed to checking that out? Not at all. Cool. Here's the information, little Google Doc, or you type it out in DMs. Here's the information. Absolutely no worries if it's not for you. I just thought this might be something that would help you out based on our previous conversation. By the way, just letting you know that the deal expires in X days. Cool if I follow up in a day to see how you got on. No worries at all. Otherwise, feel free to hop in, right? And just leave a link on the Google Doc. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Some of the folks. And guess what? You will make sales, right? And this is going on, obviously, I'm kind of talking quite a long time now. But you will make sales. And here's the real secret source of the stuff is it's going to feel very uncomfortable, okay? Around days sort of 12, 13, and then 14, right up to the actual deadline itself is where it's going to feel really uncomfortable. So what you need to do is last 24 hours. You want to go, reminder, last chance to hop into X opportunity, who's in. Oops. Right? 12 hours. Same thing. Deadline. Right? Approaching. 6 hours. And I know this feels very aggressive. I know that this is going to go against the grain for so many of you. But you've got to ask yourself the question, do you want to experience a potential small discomfort for big gains on the other side to achieve your goals, or you're going to stay in the shadows and just be a wuss about it, right? You need to be bold, you need to step into the stuff. And you need to also back yourself and back the fact that whatever it is that you're promoting is going to help those people out. You're doing them a disservice by not promoting to them. 12 hours left. Last chance. 1 hour. I know. It's crazy, right? 1 hour left. Final warning. Right? You just do these little posts. Final warning to get into blah, blah, blah. Link below if you want to check that out. Last chance, blah, blah. And what happens is this space here is where all the bulk of your sales are going to come from. And you might have sold out before this point, which means that you don't need to do that. But then even when you do that, guess what? You've got a template to follow in order to be able to promote this over and over and over and over and over again. And so therefore, that expires, right? You pull the offer off the table. You then delete these posts so it doesn't look too messy. You delete that content so it doesn't look too messy. And that's it. What would have happened is typically you would have sold X number of spots. And now you've got a pool of buyers. And now because you have gone through this and you've got the pool of buyers, now you're starting to build momentum. Now you're starting to feel like you're winning. And then what you focus on expands. So you take those little wins and you take these 5 people, the 10 people, whatever it is, you say, hey, thanks so much. Really amazing to have you as part of my world. By the way, here's a support group. By the way, we're going to go live next Tuesday. I'd love to see you there. Hopefully this time frame is okay for you. I'll get you the recording if you can't make it. But it would be great if you could rock up anyway. Let me know if you've got any questions in the meantime. We'll be able to cover a few things on the actual call itself. Okay, great, bang. You get on the call, you help those people out, and then you make the other offer for the high ticket. By the way, if you like some additional help with this is how I'm going to help folks out. I'm only taking one person with me, right? One person converts. And if none of that happens, if no one converts at any point, guess what? You've still gone through it. You didn't die. You've now got a templated process to follow to repeat. And what happens is, if it doesn't work once, what do? You improve the offer. You improve the way that you're structuring things. You gain a little bit more clout. You go and ask the people, hey, by the way, look, I saw that you're interested. I'd love to know, what was the reason that stopped you from pulling the trigger on this thing? I'd love to get some feedback. It just helps me improve what I'm doing as I go along. And when you do that, and you do so without your emotional state on it, good things are going to keep happening. You're going to be like this guy, winning with his trophy. And then that gap from going, okay, I've made a few low ticket sales to I'm jumping over a ravine, a high ticket ravine right there, is really, really, really small. It contracts right down. And I can assure you of this. I've played it out many times in my own life. I've helped many, many students with this exact same process. It categorically works, right? So to conclude, it's getting on a bit. If this is our brain, it was like, as you saw before, it was like super cluttered. right? First step, get rid of all the stuff. Just acknowledge the fact that all the information you've absorbed, it's all great information. It's just best if you don't have all of it that you're trying to focus on at the same time. So that means maybe going, okay, well, I don't really need to be on that platform just now. I don't need to be on that platform just now. I don't need to be doing that and that and that and that and that, and giving myself tasks where I'm keeping busy, but none of it's really making money. Like there's no point in being a busy idiot. Quoting Gordon Ramsay there, great quote by the way. You're better off just doing a handful of small tasks that increase the likelihood of bringing revenue into your business, because that is why we do this stuff, to bring revenue into your business and help folks out, right? So that's step number one. Allow yourself permission to declutter, and then focus on the levers in your business that are going to move the needle, basically, right? So that's number one. Understand winning and losing. Understand that your wins are going to stack up. Understand that you're going to need momentum to build that, to go jump across the ravine. And then understand, just really simply, there's only 3 components that you need to worry about. Stick with one of these until you nail it. Stick with one of these until you nail it, right? And then move on. And likewise with the audience, right? You can expand your audience as you go on. And that's the thing. So guys, look, hopefully this helps. It's been somewhat of a long one. I appreciate you all. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear everyone dropping their comments down below saying, a light bulb moment, or like, cool, sounds good, but I'm not going to go do any of that, or that sounds amazing, but I'm going to take everything I've just got from you and I'm going to go and do it right now, and I will report back here, good, bad, or otherwise, no matter how it went, because this is a process that has worked for literally hundreds of people, literally, if not thousands by now, literally has. So guys, hopefully this helps. Go out there, deploy this stuff. Do so without getting too emotionally attached to any one part of it. You will absolutely dominate, and you'll start to build that momentum in your business and your brand, which then gives you something to talk about in your content as well, right? One final little piece before I bugger off. If you do this, you are talking about your own experience. Like, here's how I made my first 5 sales online. Now that I'm making sales, now that, you talk implicitly, the reason why I'm able to make sales is because I've got a promotional cycle boiled down to something that's really, really basic for me, and something that I've been able to help other people with as well now. Oh my God, that's amazing. That person, they are talking about some of the things that I've done, so I should probably listen to what they have to say. Oh my God, I really like this guy. I might buy his stuff, right? So then you build your audience up and up and up and up, just like that. Because it's not this hypothetical, like, hey, here's allegedly how you make a high-ticket sale, so I'm told. It's actually based on your own experience along the way. Hope this helps, guys. Really, really appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and have a great day, and go and smash this out of the park. All right, guys, have a good one.